One important finding that most of people agreed on was that we have to communicate that land science is important. And basically, that's now a task for us as a scientific steering committee to tell to future Earth how important land science is. And actually, Neville Crossman, the next speaker, will give a short overview of how we are planning to tell that message to future Earth.
Thank you, Peter. So I'll try to be quick because we want to leave a little bit of time for discussion. So I'm going to talk about the future of land system science, which could actually take quite a few hours, but it'll only take hopefully 5 minutes. But in subtitle there, transition of GLP to future Earth is really what this short presentation is going to be about. So you may remember Wednesday morning, Franz Burkhardt gave a presentation on future Earth. I'm just going to quickly recap what that was about for those that either missed it or have since forgotten about that, which was 3 days ago, and there's been a lot of science since then. So the aim of Future Earth, or the objective of Future Earth, is to provide the knowledge required for societies in the world to face risks posed by global environmental change and to seize opportunities in a transition to global sustainability. The key words there highlighted in bold. And already I think you can see that the GLP and the science agenda of GLP is very much about exactly what those bold words are. So what is Future Earth? Just very quickly, a global platform for international scientific collaboration, enables integrated research on grand challenges and transformations to sustainability, integration, big thing there, strengthens global partnerships between researchers, funders and users of research. This is the co-design, co-production topic, and then does also communicate science to society and society to science. The three main research themes within Future Earth to do around transformations towards sustainability, understanding what is required for society to be more sustainable, understanding dynamic planet, the processes, etc. within planetary systems and environments, and then looking also at global development and how we as a society and as a globe can develop towards, I guess, a better future, as well as cross-cutting themes. So our transition, the transition of GLP, as Peter mentioned just before, we have a phase which currently expires in 2015, but it's quite clear that there's a need to go on. There is a need to transition, to reinvent ourselves, to revitalise, there's nothing wrong with it, but to rethink about the science we're doing and to move into a new phase of GLP. There's a process underway for existing projects to transition to Future Earth, and as part of that, we are writing a document. I'll give you a very quick story. A 2-page document is required to explain the transition of the project to Future Earth. I sent that around to the steering committee, inviting comment, had about 10 versions come back with lots of track changes, lots of comments, and it took me about a day and a half to work through a 2-page document. So that was very exciting because it showed the very strong interest within our steering committee and within the GLP to really move GLP into Future Earth, and so that was exciting there. So we are proposing to be partly transition but partly renewal. It's quite clear that the science of GLP is aligned to Future Earth and more broadly to global environmental change research, and this does offer us a really great opportunity to refocus GLP research. So it's quite clear, as I said before, that our project aligns very well with Future Earth. We are looking at the dynamic planet. We are trying to understand trends, drivers and impacts of land system change, and we'll continue to try to work in that area. We are working in global development as well already. We are trying to understand human wellbeing improvements from land systems, management of land, restoration of land, natural capital and so forth. And of course we are looking at ways to transform towards a more sustainable society through the land system. Building resilient, adaptable and integrated land use and land governance structures is a big thing about what GLP is all about. So we are right there, and as Peter mentioned earlier, a really good, or maybe it was Heinz, a good flagship example of how Future Earth could do some work. So I thought I'd finish with some, and these are mainly my thoughts, but also thoughts that did come out of our effort to put together a transition document on what could be some research foci for GLP, but from what I've heard already from both Dawn and Karl Heinz, that there's many other areas that could also be included in this list of dot points. We could be looking more into livelihoods and human well-being. That would really cover the social component of land systems very well, looking at links between health, security and ecosystems and land systems, and trying to better understand various values and pluralistic value sets around land systems. Different communities, different people have different values associated with land and how land is managed. Billy had a great talk on Wednesday morning also, looking at some areas of research that GLP could move further into around understanding trade-offs, dynamics within land systems, and mitigation and adaptation strategies to global change, and using the land system to that end. Scale and time harmonisations and teleconnections, and we've heard a lot about this. A question I have particularly is, are there sweet spots between local complexity and global simplicity if we want to model and understand those systems at various scales? There are also sweet spots between the time of an action or something occurring within a land system and an impact downtime or downstream. Are there meetings of time and spatial scale there? And another area for me is having an interest in economics, which I think is really exciting and is getting a lot of talk at the moment, is this idea of value of information and how information can improve decision making, the economic benefit of better decisions from better information, and in our case the application to land planning and governance would be a great area to do some further work in. And that would also go towards the co-production, co-design element, because we're talking here about the planning end, the final end of managing land, and how better information can have better benefits to society economically in dollar terms, but in other ways as well. So that's my quick wrap up of what we're doing with transitioning to Future Earth, and I think now we're going to have questions from the floor or discussion or something similar.